Russell Westbrook is a Houston Rocket. He was traded for Chris Paul and potentially 4 first-round picks. I'm going to give you 4 reasons why Russell Westbrook and James Harden can work out in Houston. The first thought that came to every NBA fan's mind, will Russ or Harden find a way to share the ball?
No.
Are they both ball-dominant guards who like being the guy?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can change your opinion on that matter. Reason 1. Russell Westbrook is a better player than Chris Paul at this point in their careers. The Rockets are getting the more talented, physically gifted point guard who's also 4 years younger than Chris Paul is. By the time Russ's contract runs its course with the Rockets, he'll be 34, the same age that CP3 is right now. This will be the most talented player that Harden has played with during his time in Houston. We all know the first thing that people are going to say about Russ is he can't shoot the 3-ball, which I totally agree with. But at this point in Russ's career, you can't expect him to become a knockdown shooter. You just have to hope that he gets back to average, which is exactly what he is. As of right now, Russell Westbrook is an average catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter this past season. He shot 29% from threes all around, but he did manage to shoot 31.9% from catch-and-shoot threes on 166 attempts. That's better than Kevin Love, Kyle Kuzma, and Alex Abrines, who all took at least 115 catch-and-shoot threes. But Daryl Morey and the Rockets didn't trade for Russ to help space the floor and shoot 40% from 3. They know what he brings to the team on a nightly basis. We all know what Westbrook brings to a team, whether it's his transition ability, his ability to get guys open when he drives in the paint, forces defense to help, and then he's kicking out to shooters in the perimeter, and just the intensity that he plays with every single night. Even if Mike D'Antoni wants to run the same exact style of offense as they did last year with Harden and Paul, Russ should be able to perform in the same role and keep the Rockets afloat when Harden needs a break. Every year the narrative is that Harden is gassed in the postseason and that he needs someone to help carry the load. Who better than Russell Westbrook? Russell Westbrook's style of play may be better suited for what the Rockets want to do rather than what Chris Paul was giving them. The Rockets ranked in the bottom 4 in the NBA in pace of play. Russell Westbrook is known for how he gets up and down the court when he pulls down a defensive rebound and gets your team in transition. In a system like the Rockets, where your offense is predicated on winning your ISO matchups and working the pick and roll like the Rockets have done with Harden and CP3, it puts so much pressure on those two guys to create an open shot or score points for you, and they end up having to work really hard to do that. Having Russ allows you to play a little bit faster and not have to set up the half-court offense every possession and just get an open look at a transition, whether it be a 3, a layup, or a dunk. Especially in today's NBA, when a made basket can still turn into a mini transition opportunity for the other team if you have a couple of guys who can push the ball up the court and get an easy bucket or get to the free throw line. You also don't lose much in the pick and roll offense with Russ. CP3 had scored .87 points per possession when running the pick and roll and shot 42.2% out of the pick and roll. While Russ running the pick and roll isn't going to result in as many points per possession at .78, he was still very efficient, shooting 44% when he took a shot out of the pick and roll. But we all know how lethal Chris Paul is with his passing and mid-range ability when he gets into teeth of defense when running a pick and roll. But if Mike D'Antoni still wants to fully embrace the space and pace, 3-point shot, layup, dunk type offense that he ran with Paul and Harden, Russ is the point guard for him. 70% of Chris Paul's shots were pull-up jumpers and only 20% of his shots were within 10 feet of the rim. Not driving to the rim lessens your chance as a team of forcing the defense to collapse and have the ability to kick out to an open shooter or get a dunk or layup at the rim. Russ, on the other hand, took 42.3% of his shots within 10 feet of the basket, and only 42% of his shots were pull-ups. Obviously for Westbrook, you would like him to drive a little more and not shoot as many pull-up jumpers. But Russ driving hard to the rim during a pick and roll or ISO situation is going to increase your chances as a team to get more open looks from 3 or lobs a cappella, as the defense will have to collapse to try and stop Russ and Harden from driving. But this will also help James Harden, who 53% of the time was taking 7+ dribbles to create his shot. That's just way too much for him. That's why he's becoming gassed in the postseason when every possession he's dribbling the whole shot clock. He only took 4% of his shots from catch and shoot. Harden is having to work way too hard to get a shot way too often. Obviously, you love his ability to take the man off the dribble, get a bucket at any time, but if he's forced to expend so much energy doing this every possession, it's no good. All the great ISO scorers in the league still get up easy catch and shoot shots every night. For example, Dame shot 15% of his shots from the catch and shoot. Paul George shot almost 29% at 20.85% of catch and shoot. Kawhi and LeBron. Kawhi had 15.3% catch and shoot shots. LeBron even took 10% of his shots from the catch and shoot. Russ should be able to create easier looks for Harden and the whole Rockets team with his ability to get in the paint and kick out to shooters. Westbrook and Harden wanted to play together and have a good understanding of each other's games. In life, working with someone is vital to being successful in any field. That doesn't change on the basketball court. Both parties working to be successful need to be invested in the common goal and need to communicate and understand each other to know how to help each other succeed. It felt as if Harden and CP3 both wanted to make it work, but weren't invested in doing everything they could every single day to make the relationship work. Russ and Harden had the experience and both seemed motivated to make this work. Owner of the Rockets, Tim Fertitta, stated that Harden and Westbrook wanted to play together. Them wanting to play together shows that they both understand and know what it's going to take to make this pairing work. According to Zach Lowe of ESPN, Harden let GM Daryl Morey know that, "I know how to play with Russ and he knows how to play with me." This type of comment from your superstar player is what put Daryl Morey at ease to make the trade, and just let his two superstars and head coach Mike D'Antoni figure out the rest. And don't forget, Mike D'Antoni has coached Westbrook on Team USA, so D'Antoni had to feel some level of comfort coaching both of these guys. All of my life listening to NBA players and NBA coaches, I've been told that chemistry matters. If that's the case, then Harden and Russ have the chemistry and understanding of one another from their days in the Thunder to make this work. And don't tell me there's only one ball and these guys won't be able to adjust. Both guys have played together and understand each other's games. Harden knows Russ isn't the greatest three-point shooter and that he can still have an impact on the floor. Russ knows Harden is a great isolation player, but he can still get him the ball if he's open. You were getting two of the last three MVPs on the same team in their prime. The Rockets shouldn't have any doubts that these two guys and Mike D'Antoni will figure out how to make it work. The West is wide open due to the downfall of super teams and the beginning of the dynamic duo era. Parity is at an all-time high. This Rockets team does not have to worry about playing the super team Warriors anymore. Even though they'd have a chance to beat the Warriors without KD this year, and had the Warriors down 3-2 the year before. That KD Warriors hurdle, mentally, it's over. He's gone to Brooklyn. He's in the East now. Russ and Harden is good enough to get you to the finals in the Western Conference. Just a quick look at their starting five of Russ, Harden, Gordon, PJ, and Capella. It can compete with any starting five in any team in the league, whether it be the Clippers, the Sixers, the Lakers, the Bucks, the Warriors when healthy, the Utah Jazz, it doesn't matter. The Denver Nuggets, they can compete with all those teams. They can go punch for punch with any team in the NBA. They have the coach, the superstar duo, and the role players. Obviously, coming out of the West will be a tough mountain to climb for this Rockets team, but not having that same KD, Curry-led Warriors team sitting in your path has to give them a boost of confidence that they can do it with Russ and Harden reunited and motivated to prove the rest of the league that they can win a title.